Do you have any UFC dream matchups? Of course you do. If you're an MMA fan, you definitely have some dream matchups, especially ones that don't make sense. We're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be taking a look at MMA Twitter and what they want to see. What does the MMA community want to see? What fights that make no sense do people want to put together? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's start off with the inspiration for this video, and this is the idea that I got for it because I was scrolling through MMA Twitter, and a username by Superstar MMA2 had this to say: everyone drop a fight that makes no sense, but you'd absolutely love to see because of how fun it'd be stylistically. And I thought, hey, why not take the replies from MMA Twitter and make it into a video today? So I'm going to be talking about fights that the people that are posting, of course, and hypothetically predicting them and how excited I would be for this matchup. Now, Alexander Volkanovski, Rafael Fiziev. This one's a very interesting matchup. One that I definitely would have never thought in. It'd be a cool fight. I love watching both guys, but I've never really thought about these two actually coming together and fighting. There's so many better matchups that I would like to see for Volk at 155. I worry about the power coming at Volk in his chin nowadays, but to be honest with you, this isn't a fight that I would be too excited for myself. And if I had to pick a winner, I would pick Rafael Fiziev. I think Volkanovski is past his prime. But let's take a look at another fight. Prime for prime, Vicente Luque, Carlos Condit. Carlos Condit is one of my favorite fighters of all time, so I would love to watch just one more time Carlos Condit in his prime against Vicente Luque. This is actually a matchup that I never thought of, and man, would this be a banger. Oh my god, these two in the technical chaos that they can take on. Wow. If I had to predict this fight, I'd say Carlos Condit would get the better of him just a little bit, but man, I never thought about that fight. That's very fun. Let's take a look at another fight, though. Kind of does make sense, but I want both at their peak. Petr Yan, TJ Dillashaw. I've thought about this fight many times throughout the past, I want to say, 5-ish years, maybe a little bit more. I would love to see the technical matchup that TJ Dillashaw versus Petr Yan would produce. It would be one of the most technical, high-level fights you could ever see in MMA. Prime for prime, though. I don't know who would win that fight. I think that's legitimately a coin flip fight because I still, and I'm ready for the comments down below disagreeing with me, I still do believe Petr Yan is the best fighter at bantamweight right now. I believe he beat Sean O'Malley, and I believe he should be champion. TJ Dillashaw, in his prime, he's right up there as well. Man, I don't know. That's such a good fight. Prime for prime? Yeah, I can't predict that one. If I had to assume, I would pick Petr Yan, but that could even just be recency bias. I don't know. But let's take a look at another fight. No one even has to jump weight classes. Corey Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley. This is a fight that I believe we will see down the line. Perhaps next. Maybe they don't want Merab to be champion. Maybe the UFC doesn't want Merab to actually beat Sean O'Malley. I actually think that Sean has a pretty good chance against Merab. But anyways, this fight. This is one that I actually don't know as well, but honestly, I would love to see this fight. Corey Sandhagen deserves a title shot. Corey Sandhagen is one of the most well-rounded and greatest strikers in the division. Sean O'Malley definitely is the best striker in the division. This would be a banger. This would be a high-level technical masterpiece. And honestly, I would pick Corey Sandhagen to win this fight. I think he has more options, and I think he actually would be able to explore the ground game with Sean O'Malley. I believe he wouldn't. That's where he would excel, but for the striking exchanges, I really don't know who would get the better of that one. But anyways, let's get into another fight. Matching all the switch kicks to the body. Is this Edson Barboza? I believe it is. Yes, it is. It's Edson Barboza. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Edson Barboza versus Rafael Fiziev. Oh, that'd be a technical kickboxing masterpiece. How many times have I said technical and masterpiece in this video? It's just like, these are dream matchups. I really would like to see this. Prime for prime, though. I think I'd give it to Edson Barboza. Then again, Fiziev's pretty good at pressuring, and Edson Barboza's always crumbled under pressure. Kind of making me second guess myself a little bit, to be honest with you. Guys, please, I would love to know what you think about all of these fights in the comment section down below, because this is extremely interesting. I don't know, because would Fiziev pressure him to death, or would Edson Barboza be able to have like a regular kickboxing match with him? Edson's so fast, Fiziev's so fast. Man, not even just the switch kicks to the body. The speed on these two, some of the fastest fighters we've ever seen in kickboxing. Man, I would ever so slightly lean to Edson Barboza in this fight, but that is a absolute banger in itself. Let's keep going to Scrambles, les scrambles de malade je rêve. Let's see what this means. I dream of crazy scrambles. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mateusz Gamrot versus Movsar Evloev. Now, that's assuming that Movsar would blow up to the lightweight division and have success with his size there. I would love this. I'm a big fan of jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu. Love everything about jiu-jitsu. I don't hate it like some of these MMA fans want to see. The scrambles would be crazy. Arman Tsarukyan versus Mateusz Gamrot, and the scrambles that they put on there was some of the most high-level MMA that I've ever seen in my lifetime. One of my favorite fights that I've ever watched. And to have these two grapplers go at it would really produce something special. But sometimes when you get two styles like this, you kind of end up having a Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman situation. But let's continue on. Speaking of Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, 170, prime versus prime. Dustin Poirier, Robbie Lawler. I actually don't know how Dustin Poirier would do at 170. I really, really don't, man, because if he is somehow getting better cardio and somehow fills into the weight class nicely, maybe even has more power, he'd be a warrior. But man, just the two styles here, Robbie Lawler and Dustin Poirier, prime versus prime, that would be chaos. Assuming Dustin Poirier fits in the weight class, okay, that would be absolute chaos. Who could, I was about to say, like, can Robbie Lawler outwill Dustin Poirier? But can Dustin Poirier outwill Robbie Lawler? I don't know, man. Oh, that is a good fight. Some of these dream matchups are crazy, dude. We're at 170 prime for prime. I'd have to go with Robbie Lawler because of the size, but man, that's a toughie. There's some tough matchups to pick. Let's keep going. Conor McGregor, Colby Covington. This would have been, if you're talking prime for prime, Colby would have ragdolled him. Colby would have absolutely dunked McGregor on his head, but the trash talk would be phenomenal. I would really, really be looking forward to this fight. But there's no way McGregor would have ever taken the fight with Colby Covington, man. Colby would have just absolutely destroyed him. I would have been hyped for it, though. The press conference would have been absolutely hilarious. Okay, this is a good one. Nick Diaz, Sean Strickland. Those two styles and characters would be great. Oh my God. What would Sean Strickland do with Nick Diaz like yapping in his face? Would Sean do what we're seeing in this photo right now like he did to Israel Adesanya? Because he typically fights like so like just technical, not like his personality. But could Nick bring that out of him? But just the boxing exchanges alone, the pressure that Nick Diaz would put on, the calmness of Sean Strickland, that would be a really, really good fight. I have always believed Nick Diaz to be a very, very underrated fighter, and I actually think that Nick Diaz might get a little bit of the better on Sean Strickland. But it's a close fight, man. It's a close fight, and that is a fight that I would absolutely love to see. Man, it makes me think that we missed out on so many good fights. But a tale as the old of time. What did I just say? Did I mess that up? I hope I didn't. Regardless, I might just sound stupid. Cain Velasquez versus Jon Jones. This has been talked about for so many years before Cain actually retired. Cain would have ragdolled Jon Jones, man. I know Jon Jones is the greatest of all time. I know everybody would have picked Jon Jones, especially now that he's actually up at heavyweight. Cain Velasquez was on another level. Cain Velasquez was a monster, and he would have done whatever he wanted with Jon Jones. But it was a dream fight, one that I would have always been excited to see, one that sucks that we never actually got to see. But anyways, let's continue on. Prime for prime volume, Max versus Green would be so sick. People have been talking about this fight since Max Holloway won, especially with Bobby Green still having a really good performance. Max Holloway would box his face off, but you want to talk about a BMF match. You want to talk about two guys that would have no problem standing in the middle and banging. Bobby Green's the dude to do it with Max Holloway, honestly. And Max Holloway would probably accept Bobby Green's invitations while Bobby Green's walking up to him going like this. That would be a blast. That would be a blast to watch. Max Holloway would kill him, though. Max Holloway would probably finish him, too, to be honest with you. But that is a great, great fight. Now, this fight in 2020, right after Conor McGregor smoked Cowboy, would have been incredible matchmaking, and I agree. This is a fight that I really wanted to see. I'm shocked the UFC never put this together. I thought once Masvidal won the BMF belt, they were doing Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. I really thought that was the case. McGregor talked about moving up to 170. McGregor's now fighting at 170. Masvidal's a beatable opponent, somebody who wouldn't take Conor McGregor down. This would have been one of the biggest fights, probably in history, to be honest, with Masvidal at his hype and McGregor coming back, just demolishing Cowboy. That would have been a fantastic fight. Now, I'd have to see these two size up against each other, assuming that that their size is a little bit similar. I think McGregor would have schooled Masvidal. He would have schooled him. He's better than Masvidal technically. Masvidal could make it a little bit dirty, but I think Masvidal lacks the kind of pressure that you need to put on McGregor with somebody that like Dustin Poirier never let up on him. Khabib did a great job. Nate Diaz, when he turned it on, I don't think Jorge Masvidal would put that same kind of, oomph into the game. He wouldn't make McGregor suffer in there. He would just fight Conor McGregor a little bit technically, make the fight a little bit fun. I think Conor McGregor would school Masvidal on the feet. I think that's a great fight as well. But let's continue on. Oh. I was a big fan of Rumble Johnson, guys. Rest in peace, Rumble. It's always sad when somebody brings up Rumble Johnson. I don't mean to like honestly, I don't want to make the video I hope you guys don't think that I'm sitting here being like, "Oh my god, Rumble Johnson," you know what I mean? And then I just pull on your heartstrings for a like, because people do that, unfortunately. I miss seeing Rumble fight, that's all. He was a great fighter. Who would win this one? Alex Pereira's chin's definitely better at 205, and Rumble can knock out anybody on the planet. So I would imagine Rumble Johnson can finish him, and Alex Pereira does get hit in his fights. I think Rumble Johnson would actually take that fight. I do. Alex Pereira's not going to take him down. Alex Pereira could chop his legs down, but Rumble would... Actually, I would say Rumble Johnson would finish Alex Pereira very early. I really would. Oh, man. I miss Rumble, dude. Miss him a lot. Let's continue on. This is an interesting one. Diego Lopez and Charles Oliveira. Stylistically, phenomenal. When fighters move weight classes, I would have to see how they size up. I know I've said that for quite a few fights here, especially with the weight change, but the chaos that this fight would bring. Oh my god. You want to talk about a BMF fight? Not bad. Not bad. Am I stupid for thinking that Diego Lopez would win? Am I too early on the Diego Lopez train because he hasn't beaten anybody? But then again, he was right there to beating Movsar Evloev. I was about to say he hasn't beat anybody of significance, but my guts tell me to pick Diego Lopez in that one, man. But that could just be recency bias. Guys, let's take a look at another fight. Listen. Michael Venom Page, Michelle Pereira. Oh my god. Oh my god, that would have been a banger. Oh my god. The cartwheels, the show, the antics that would go on in this fight. Plus, we would see some really nice technical kickboxing. I love it. I love it. One of the best fights we've actually taken a look at. Oh my god. Guys, let me know what your dream fight is if we haven't talked about it down below. Comment down below your predictions on any of these fights. I would love to know. Thank you very much for being here. Check out the video on screen right now. I will see you either there or in the next one. Take care.